Hello everybody and welcome to Full Moon Adventure Club, where we cover all things adventure. On our channel we cover a lot of how-to tips on RVing, installation videos, reviews, location destinations, and just about anything in between that's related to adventure and camping and fun stuff like that. Today we're going to be kind of going over the question about these little tiny lithium-ion jumpstart packs. Now this one right here is an Aickar, I guess is how you pronounce that. It's a D30 model and it's a 500 amp lithium portable jump starter. Now we all know these work really well for jump starting normal cars and things like that. They just come with basically a little set of cables. You plug it in, you turn it on, and boom, your car starts right up. But I wanted to know how this would really apply to our RV viewers. So I have a 1982 Ford Jamboree with a Ford 460 engine in it, which is a 7.5 liter gasoline engine. That's a big motor. So I wanted to see if it would light this guy on fire, if it just wouldn't start it, or what the deal would be. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on the chopping block, hook it up to that Ford 460 and see if it's able to start it. Now basically I tried this first of all on a GMC Envoy, and of course it started right up. And then we put it on the Ford 460. So what I'm going to basically do is just take you right on out there and show you the motor, show you that it doesn't start, and see if this guy's going to do the job. So let's jump right out there and get right to it. Okay, so here we are inside, and I'm going to go ahead and try and start this guy up. We have absolutely nothing. No lights, no anything. My emergency switch is disconnected, so that's not doing us any good either. Okay, so now we're going to see if we can jump start this guy. Now we're going to move immediately over and see if we can start this guy, which I highly doubt considering the size of it, but oh, and it did it. Incredible. Well, there you go. It definitely did do the job, and I was pretty surprised. The battery was completely dead and probably had been dead for about 3 or 4 weeks because I haven't been out there in a long time, and it was in storage, and apparently something was left on. So it was deader than a doornail, and this guy was able to start it right up. I was pretty impressed by that. However, these really aren't designed for that type of motor and that big of an application. Obviously, what you really want to get is upwards in the 1,000 amps or even the 2,000 amp big guys that are about this size, but they have heavier duty cables or 2 cables going to each connection. 2 cables to positive, 2 cables to negative, to kind of distribute that load. Because what I realized that happened with this guy right here, 500 amp, is that while it did start the engine, it made the cables pretty warm. I wouldn't say hot, and they definitely didn't smoke or anything like that, but they were very warm to the touch. I'm not even going to say hot. So they did the job. But one thing that I will notice is when you turn the display on this guy, it does have a little 100% rating for the life of the battery, and it's always done a pretty good job of showing the actual percentage. You know, 100%, then you start a car and maybe it's down to 70%. And so you can jump start a car maybe 3 or 4 times with this guy, and it always did a good job of counting down. And after the RV test, it pretty much stays at 100%. It still works and functions the same, but it never dips below 100% until it's dead and it won't even operate a car, and then it says 99%. And you have to charge it until basically it just stops charging. So that's not a huge problem. I mean, it's still working. We're still using it all the time. But the display or the internal electronics that tell you how much battery life was probably damaged during the test. So while I wouldn't recommend this for RV use, they're very inexpensive, maybe in the $50 to $60 range, something like that for these guys. And they sure will get you out of a jam. So if you have one of these lying around and you do need it for a jump start on a big battery like that, it might just get you out of a jam. But if you're going to buy one for your RV, go ahead and get one of the nice ones. It's 1,000 amps or even 2,000 amps that's designed for the big diesel motors and the big gasoline engines like my Ford 460. So that about wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed it. Please join the club and like, subscribe. All that good stuff is going to really help us keep these videos coming for you. And that about covers it. My name is Jim with Full Moon Adventure Club. And until next time, have some fun out there.